Today, we are going to talk about something really powerful. We're going to look at how the humble chair, something you're probably sitting in right now, can be turned into an incredible tool. We're not talking about a place of rest. We're talking about a platform for a revolution, a way to rebuild your strength, get back your mobility, and really relaunch your independence. For a lot of us, just the simple act of getting up or reaching for something on a shelf, it can start to feel like a real chore, a source of frustration. And whether that's from an old injury or just the changes that come with time, that feeling can be, it can be really isolating. But what if I told you that the very thing that supports you could also be the thing that makes you stronger? So here's our game plan. We're going to start by totally rethinking the chair as your new foundation for strength. Then we'll build power from the ground up, literally. After that, we'll talk about getting back that daily reach. We'll also uncover the secret to a stable core, and maybe most importantly, we'll tie it all together with the right mindset. All right, let's dive right in. The very first step is a huge mental shift. It's time to stop looking at your chair as an endpoint and start seeing it for what it can be, a starting block. Now, you might hear the term seated fitness and think it's, a compromised version of a real workout. But that couldn't be further from the truth. This is a highly strategic method. The chair gives you a stable base, which means you can zero in on specific muscles with incredible focus and do it safely. It's all about building that solid foundation. This is the one idea I really want you to hold on to. We are completely flipping the script here. Your chair is not a limitation. It's your partner. It takes away the fear of falling, the fear of losing your balance, and that lets you put 100% of your focus on the quality of every single movement. So how do we actually start this rebuilding process? Well, we start from the ground up. We start with our legs. Leg strength isn't just about walking. It's about confidence. The confidence to get out of a car, to stand up from a low sofa, it's the absolute key to your independence. And when we talk about that power, there are really two muscle groups that are the absolute superstars, your calves and your quadriceps. Your calves, think of them like the springs that give you balance with every single step. And your quads, those big muscles on the front of your thighs, they are the powerhouses for standing up, for climbing stairs, and, this is crucial, for preventing falls. Now, this shows you exactly what I mean by quality. Let's just break this down. It is not about how fast or how high you can kick. No, it's a slow, deliberate lift. You consciously squeeze that quad muscle at the very top, and that control, both on the way up and especially on the way back down, that's where the magic happens. That's what builds real strength. Okay, let's shift our focus to the upper body. And again, the goal here isn't about lifting some crazy amount of weight. It's about making your everyday life easier. It's about having the strength to put the groceries away on that high shelf, or to lift up your dog, or just to open a stubborn jar without having to struggle. This is what we call functional strength. It's a simple idea, really. Every exercise you do should directly translate into something you can do better in the real world. We're not just training muscles for the sake of it. We're training for life. And here are the golden rules for the upper body. See a theme here? It's all about control and intention. It doesn't matter if you're using water bottles or no weight at all. The secret is to imagine you're moving something heavy. Feel the muscle work as you pull and feel it work as you push. This mental game is where the real results come from. Every single thing you do, every reach, every step, every twist, it all starts from your center. Your core isn't just your abs, it's the anchor for your entire body. And engaging it, that's the secret to unlocking power and stability in everything. This comparison makes it so clear. It's night and day, right? On the left, you've got passive sitting, just slumped, letting the chair do all the work. But on the right, active sitting. Just by sitting up tall, pulling your back away from the chair, you instantly fire up those deep core muscles. You're turning this simple act of sitting into a constant low-key exercise. So we've covered the what and the how. We've talked about the movements, but now we get to the most important part, the secret ingredient that makes every single rep you do 100 times more effective. This is about shifting from just moving to mindfully strengthening. This quote just nails it. The physical movement is only half the story. The other, and I'd argue more powerful half, happens in your head. When you truly believe and feel that resistance, you create this incredible connection that makes every movement count for so much more. So how do we actually build that connection? It's a simple 4-step checklist. First, intention. Before you even move, decide what muscle you're working. Second, focus. Put all of your attention on feeling that muscle shorten and lengthen. Third, squeeze. Give it a little pause at the very top of the movement. And finally, control. Never just let your arm or leg drop. Control it all the way back down. And that's it. That's the whole game. Anyone can just go through the motions. But real, lasting strength, that's built by people who bring their full, undivided attention to every single movement. That mental engagement is the key that unlocks everything. And that brings us to the last question, the one I want to leave you with. This was never really just about exercise, was it? It's about what that strength gives back to you. Is it playing with your grandkids on the floor? Is it walking through the park without a second thought? Or is it just the freedom to move through your day with ease and confidence? That's the real revolution. Let's be real for a second. For years, the fitness industry has been handing women a playbook that was written for men. I mean, it's based on male biology, male hormones, male metabolism. So today, we're tearing up that old playbook and writing a new one that's actually designed for the female body. Have you ever felt this? You are doing everything right. You're eating clean, you're in the gym, you're putting in hours on the treadmill, but the results you're working so hard for, they're just not showing up. It is one of the most frustrating feelings, and believe me, you are not alone. I want to be super clear about something. This has nothing to do with your effort. It's not about your dedication. The problem is the strategy. You've been playing a game with a rule book that was never ever meant for you. Okay, so let's tackle the biggest myth right out of the gate, that number on the scale. We've all been taught to chase a lower number, but you know what? It's a totally flawed goal. And worse, it can actually sabotage your long-term health. There's this brilliant scientist, Dr. Stacy Sims, who's an expert in female physiology. And she just nails it with this quote. She completely reframes the goal. It's not about losing weight anymore. It's about recomposition. Think about it. When that number on the scale goes down, what are you actually losing? A lot of the time, weight loss just means you're shedding things you desperately need, like muscle that keeps your metabolism fired up, or even bone density that keeps you strong. Body recomposition, on the other hand, well, that's all about building. It's about increasing that lean muscle and decreasing body fat. The scale might not even budge that much, but you'll feel stronger, you'll be healthier, and your clothes, they're gonna fit a whole lot better. That's what real progress looks like. You know that old saying, calories in, calories out? The idea that you can just go for a run and burn off whatever you ate? Well, it turns out it's not that simple. You really can't out-exercise a bad diet. Here's a little reality check for you. You eat 3 of those cookies, gone in, what, a minute? To burn off those calories, you'd have to go run for 2 miles. It just goes to show the quality of your food matters so much more than just counting calories. All right, let's bust myth number 2. For decades, women have been told that the secret to being lean is just hours and hours of cardio. But focusing only on cardio can lead you right into something called the skinny fat trap. Now, skinny fat has nothing to do with your weight. It's all about your body composition. You can be a normal weight according to the charts, but still have really high body fat and low muscle. And doing too much cardio can actually make it worse by breaking down the muscle we're trying so hard to build. So if not endless cardio, then what? Well, the old way was all about high reps and light weights. but especially for women over 30, that's just not cutting it. The new rule is to lift heavy for fewer reps. We're talking short, focused sessions. This sends a powerful signal to your body to build and maintain both muscle and bone. It's a total game changer. Okay, I know lifting heavy can sound pretty intimidating, but you don't just walk into a gym and try to deadlift 300 pounds on day one. No way. There's a smart progression. You start by just mastering your own body weight. Then you can add some resistance with things like bands. And from there, you work your way up to free weights. It's a journey, not a sprint. All right, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Drugs like Ozempic. They're everywhere right now, all over social media. But there's a huge misunderstanding about what they are. These are serious medical tools, not some magic shortcut to weight loss. And here's the critical part that nobody talks about. These drugs don't just target fat. They reduce your appetite so much that you lose everything. And that includes your precious muscle and bone mass. So using them without a rock-solid plan to keep that muscle is a recipe for disaster down the road. Honestly, using these drugs the right way is anything but easy. It requires a really strict protocol. I'm talking mandatory strength training, a huge focus on getting enough protein, and constant medical supervision to make sure you're not losing muscle. It is a serious health commitment. Okay, so we've torn down the old myths. Now let's build the new blueprints. And this isn't about a quick fix diet. This is about creating a plan for a long, strong, and totally capable life. We really need to change our whole mindset here. The goal is not about looking a certain way in 12 weeks. The real goal is to build a body that can carry your own groceries, play with your grandkids, and let you be independent and vibrant when you're 80, 90, or even older. We are playing the long game. And any long-term plan has to be something you can actually stick with, right? That's where the 80-20 rule is so perfect. 80% of the time, you're on it. You're focused. But that other 20%, that's for living your life, for vacation, for a birthday cake, for fun. It's all about consistency, not perfection. So if you walk away with just one thing today, please let it be this. The new playbook for women's health really boils down to 3 simple non-negotiable rules. 1, lift heavy things. 2, prioritize protein. And 3, protect your sleep. Seriously, without good sleep, nothing else works. At the end of the day, this is about so much more than how you look in the mirror. It's about what your body can do for you. It's about feeling capable, confident, and resilient. So the real question isn't about what you have to lose. It's about everything you have to gain. What kind of life will you build with your newfound strength? Hey there. If you've ever felt like your fitness journey is just this constant uphill battle, well, then this is for you. We're about to look at a completely different way of thinking, one that actually works with your brain, not against it. It's this idea of joyful discipline. You've heard this one a million times, right? No pain, no gain. It's kind of become the mantra of the fitness world. It's what we tell ourselves to justify the struggle, telling us that for any movement to count, it has to hurt a little. But hang on a second, let's really question that. What if that very pain, that struggle we're told to embrace, isn't the secret to success at all? What if it's actually the reason we keep giving up? And that question, that leads us straight into this weird paradox that so many of us live with every day. We all know exercise is good for us, right? Science says so, or doctors say so. So why on earth does just putting on your running shoes sometimes feel like the hardest thing in the world? You know, I think it starts with the way we see ourselves. We often approach our bodies like there's some broken project that needs fixing, instead of a partner we should listen to and understand. Exercise becomes a punishment for what we ate, not a celebration of what our bodies can do. So what's actually going on inside our heads when we force ourselves to do a workout we absolutely hate? Turns out it's not just you being lazy. There's a real biological reaction happening, and understanding it is the key to why just using willpower is a strategy that's pretty much designed to fail. See, Your brain basically has two totally different ways of looking at movement. When you force it, your brain sees an obligation. It triggers a stress response, like, hey, this is a threat. But when you actually enjoy the movement, it's driven by desire, and your brain flags that as a reward. Two paths leading to completely different places. Let's dig into that threat response for a second. When you're dreading a workout, your brain releases cortisol. That's the famous stress hormone. And cortisol is a powerful teacher. It's literally creating a negative feedback loop in your brain that screams, this is bad, avoid this in the future. So you're not failing when you quit. Your brain is just doing exactly what it was trained to do. I mean, does that hit home for you at all? That feeling when you lay out your gym clothes with the best intentions, but when morning comes, it's like hitting a brick wall of resistance. That's not some flaw in your character. That's brain chemistry. It's that feedback loop in action. But the good news is there's another way to do this. A much better way. And it involves looking back, way back, before the modern gym even existed, to reconnect with a language our bodies have known forever. The simple, primal joy of movement. Think about it. For most of human history, movement wasn't this separate thing we had to schedule. It was just part of life. It was ritual dance. It was games to celebrate. It was social gatherings. This whole idea of the workout, this chore we have to endure alone, is a really new invention. And maybe it's a flawed one. Okay, so now let's flip the coin and look at the good stuff that happens in your brain. When you find a way to move that you actually enjoy, your brain rewards you with dopamine and endorphins. These are your feel-good chemicals. They don't teach you to avoid something, they teach you to crave it. This is how you build a habit that actually lasts. You make your brain want to come back for more. And that right there, that's the fundamental shift we're talking about. It stops being about trying to force discipline onto yourself. Instead, it becomes about cultivating a genuine desire to move. You're not fighting your brain anymore. You're finally on the same team. Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we make that switch in real life? Well, we can break it down into 3 simple pillars. Think of this as your framework for a brand new relationship with movement. First up, redefine what your goal is. Let go of the numbers on the scale or the treadmill. Make the goal simply to feel good, to feel more energized. Second, create a sanctuary. The place where you move shouldn't feel like a sterile lab or a torture chamber. Make it a place you actually want to be. And third, this one's a big one, release perfection. Joyful movement isn't about getting it right every time. It's about being messy, being a beginner, and just having fun. And when you think about it that way, the whole idea of discipline completely changes. It stops being about force and willpower. Real discipline becomes an act of self-love. It's about carving out and protecting the time for the things that genuinely make you feel alive. And where does all this lead? Well, it leads to a journey that's all about you. The fitness industry is constantly screaming at us about the best new workout, but the secret isn't finding their perfect workout. It's about discovering your own personal rhythm. And what does that even look like? Well, it can be literally anything. It could be blasting your favorite song and just dancing in your living room. It could be finding a new trail to hike, swimming in a lake, or even picking up a sport you used to love as a kid. The only rule is that it has to feel more like play than work. So, I'm going to leave you with one last question to chew on. Forget about what you think you should be doing. Forget the calories, the reps, the miles. Just take a second and ask yourself this. What is the one movement that makes you, personally, feel completely and utterly free? That's it. That's your starting point.